Today marks 27 years a 14-year-old girl was raped and murdered. Her body left in an abandoned hospital along Bel Air Boulevard. Today, her mother is still searching desperately for answers. Margarita Garcia, the mother of Erica Garcia, reached out to me for help on getting word out about her daughter's murder all those years ago. Margarita is here with us this morning. Thank you so much for being here. I know today is an extremely difficult day for you and for your family, so we appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
27 years without answers.
Correct.
27 years, almost three
Today.
decades without justice.
Without it.
This time of year I know is extremely tough for you. You had Erica's birthday at the beginning of May,
May
followed
6th.
by Mother's Day, and now this. So it's a really tough time.
It is. And still, no answers. No justice has been served.
What gets you through these days?
Prayers. Just stay busy. I stay busy with my kids, my grandchildren.
You have to be
My
mom for
work.
them. You have to
Yeah.
be grandma for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the reason why we're doing this is it was something that, you know, I realized covering these stories, going into marginalized communities and covering murders and realizing, you know, years later we go back to these communities and these families don't have answers. They don't have justice. And oftentimes people within marginalized communities have a difficult time at getting the word out. And so we started this new series here at KPRC2, Solvable, a few months ago. And it was during that first story, you saw that 10 p.m. Report and you reached out to us.
Yes,
you reached out to us because you know that someone, somewhere, knows something. And you
Yes.
want that person to come forward.
Come forward. Somebody out there knows something. And this is something I've repeated for 27 years. If they would just come forward. She was with quite a few of her friends. And till this day, nobody knows who she left with, what vehicle she got in with. You know, a lot of their response were they didn't know. First of all, Erica would have not walked home. That is one thing that I put my life on. She would have not walked home. So who did she go with? What group? And nobody knows anything? I don't believe it. I feel like if her case would have been pushed harder in the beginning, I would not have to be doing this every year. Because somebody out there knows something.
Bring us back to that June 6th night. The facts that you do know of that evening.
I know she got dropped off at the teen club.
This is over in
On BeachNet,
Southwest Houston.
in Southwest area on BeachNet, and that's where she got dropped off at with her
It's
friend.
Boone in
I want to say BeachNet in, it could be Boone if I recall correctly.
Okay.
Boone. She got her and her friend Nora got dropped off. My sister dropped them off, and that's where she was supposed to be at. From I'm gathering that all these other friends from school, the ones she hung with, ended up there. From there, to my knowledge, they left to hang out at an apartment that was off of Boone, I believe. And then from there, they went to that club that's on Bel Air and Boone. That's the hospital was right behind where she was found. Now, how is anybody not going to know what group she left with? They didn't walk. They didn't walk from the teen club to the apartment. They didn't ride bikes. So what group, what car did she get in with? And nobody can remember, nobody knows nothing? I don't believe it.
It was at around 11:45 that night.
11:45.
You got a call from her that
Yes.
she made from a payphone in that area.
In the shopping strip.
Yeah.
And I recall there was a payphone there, because I went, after everything happened, I would go back there many afternoons, and I do recall there was a payphone. I don't know if that's a payphone she called me from. We didn't have cell phones at that time. And
What did she say?
she said she's on her way home. I said, okay. I said, do you need me to go pick you up? She's like, no, Ma. She goes, I'm on my way. And I told her, okay, be careful. But nobody yet knows what group or who she left with. I don't believe them. I don't.
Hours later, her body was
body.
found just feet away from that area in an
Exactly.
abandoned hospital.
The hospital had been boarded up due to, kids, teenagers going in there. And they had a security guard that was, I guess, patrolling through the night or morning.
Surveillance.
Yes.
The
And he noticed that one of the plywoods was off. So I guess he went to do his checks, his round, and that's where he found her. And I don't know if it happened there or if she was left there. And a lot of the ones that were interviewed that were her friends, and these are friends from school, from the property where we lived at. A lot of them lived on the same property where we lived at. They basically, I just all gave the same story. We don't know. We don't remember who she left with. Some say she left walking. Which walking, I know she didn't go walking.
She had just wrapped up her 7th grade year.
She had just finished 7th grade. She was hanging with the wrong crowd, and I fought for her. I was behind, I didn't just give up until she finally realized, she decided, to change. So I didn't even know that she was gonna try out. And then she came home and said she had made it for
Cheerleading.
the cheerleading tryout. So she would have been cheerleader her 8th grade year. As a teenager, some get rebellious, and I had but that still doesn't, regardless of who she was hanging with, the wrong crowd. That doesn't give nobody the right to take her life the way they did. She fought. I know she fought. And I know she fought.
What do you want investigators to know?
I can't even count You know, I have contacted, I have left messages, I have reached out, I've gone to a couple of Crime Stoppers meetings. I have emailed the people I've contacted her information, you know, that they asked me to do this, they asked me to send this, I do that, and I never hear back. I don't get an answer back. I contacted Kevin Deese in September. He was going to give me, I emailed everything, I texted also. He was going to get back with me. He never did. I had to call him finally back in January. I was able to contact him. Well, and then I guess, you know, I'm assuming he's no longer, I'm not sure if he's still on the force or what, but I have left messages to, I believe he's the supervisor, Rodriguez. I've left voicemails on his desk phone. I'm assuming it's his desk phone. I haven't gotten nothing back. I have contacted, I've emailed Ken Paxton, the Attorney General that has the cold case. I've emailed them. I did get a response from them finally, just last week, I believe, or so. And but the only way they can help me is if
the agency reaches out
allows
to them.
it. I reached out to Kelly Siegler. She was very good in responding back to me. I reached out to, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, Ortham?
Othram.
Yeah. I've reached out to them, and they again tell me the same thing. If the
case has to be referred to them, by the jurisdiction who owns the case.
I reached out to CC Moore. She told me the same thing. You know, and I just feel I can't say it's tiring because I'm going to fight.
You're going to continue to fight.
But it's really, really aggravating that, you know, I go to the Crime Stoppers. I can't make every meeting, but, you know, when I can, I will. I speak out. I you know, they tell me, send me the info, and, you know, we'll see what we can do. And I don't get no response. If we have all this new technology with DNA, I have information, but I haven't got no contact to go downtown to meet with anybody. I've even emailed and I've texted her detective.
Who has changed throughout the years.
Oh yes, she's had quite a few different detectives, and most of the time, actually all the time, I didn't know till I would call. Well, this detective retired, and she's got, you know, I would never be notified that her detective changed. You know, I understand they're extremely busy, but I feel that her case her file has just been kept on just being pushed to the back, to the side. You know, we go start it, we go work on it for a little bit, and then it's like a cycle. It's been a cycle. And I'm tired of it. And I'm gonna keep going if I have to go downtown or who I have to talk to, but things are gonna get done.
You're not going to give up.
I'm not gonna give up.
What would be your message to the people who do know something about what happened that night?
To everybody that was with her, one of y'all know what happened. Come forward. You can remain anonymous. You can call Crime Stoppers, the Homicide Division. You called yourself a friend or considered to be a friend. come forward, because more than one of y'all know what happened. Know who did this or who she left with. Come forward. That's all you got to do. Because if this, God forbid, you know, I don't wish this on anybody. If this was your daughter, the way this world is, your niece, you would want answers. And Erica, she deserves justice. She does. It's 27 years.
And you'll keep fighting and keep pushing. Well, we so much appreciate you, Margarita, coming in to chat with us, to have this conversation. I know today's an extremely difficult day as it marks 27 years, but we appreciate the time that you've given us.